You already know it's your boy. In my previous video of Attack on Titan, I might have mentioned that I am not a fan of what's going on in season 2. It's the way that anime is going now that I am not really happy, but I'm starting to learn how to deal with it. It makes me look at an anime differently, more objectively, now that they cut it up into seasons and we get the idea of what it means to have a 12 episode order and a 24 episode order. Like, we can get it. The season 2 finale of Attack on Titan was aired during the weekend, and I wanted to share my thoughts, my insights, and how I felt about the season overall, the last couple episodes, as well as the direction that Attack on Titan is going. Now, what I enjoy, the thing that appeals to me the most about Attack on Titan is very similar the way I got attracted to the show, in the same way that I got attracted to The Walking Dead the first time. I think it's something about the helplessness and the end of the world type deal that I'm usually not a very big fan of, because that gives me panic attacks thinking about the end of the world. But in terms of the show, it's kind of cool. That's what I enjoyed the most about several things in the present time events that happened during the first couple of Assassin's Creed, the first couple of episodes of Sword Art Online, where it seemed like, you know, they were gonna die. That was, you know, as well as The Walking Dead's whole, you know, fact that the world has been overtaken by zombies and all that stuff. And now Attack on Titan kind of falls into that same category of, it's the zombie mech. So imagine you yourself get to fucking pilot a giant zombie. That's essentially what Attack on Titan is. So how do I feel about it? I'm slightly disappointed on how Attack on Titan season 2 somewhat ended, because it didn't feel like it got very far. Just to be clear, they got a lot of important things covered in season 2. We got to know the identities of the Armored Titan, the Colossal Titan, the introduction of the Beast Titan, a somewhat explanation or a reason why Eren as a Titan matters, as well as a backstory into the Titans. We found out that the Titans were people. I suspected as much from the beginning of the show, from the first season, especially because the Titans not only do look like people, which is really creepy, but as soon as the fact that Eren can turn into a Titan, I was like, all right, but then that means there's a lot of people that eventually turn into Titans, or those people are Titans. I just needed to know how. And we learned through the side character name, who really became a main character this season, Ymir, who was a little girl that was orphaned, was taken in by a cult, was praised as a goddess in her cult, and then when the modern police came, I'm gonna call them modern police because nobody has no fucking name for it. They came and they grabbed them and they arrested and executed the cult. What they did was very important, because they grabbed the people from the cult and they put them on top of the wall. They injected them with something and kicked them off, which turned them into Titans. So Ymir was turned into a Titan. And from the looks of the military uniform, from the time everything is, from what it looks like in the time that this is taking place, it doesn't seem like it's very recent, especially since Ymir says to Reiner and Berthold, who are the Colossal and Armored Titans, she told them that she was a Titan for about 64 years, I believe. So then that means she was traveling outside the walls as a Titan. So we don't know in that time what was going on. It's assumed that it's before Titans took over altogether, and you know, the walls were built and so on and such forth. So, and it was nice to see that Ymir, after falling off the wall, turning into a Titan, that she was just mindless. So she ran as a Titan for 60 years, and then ate another person who was part of Reiner, Berthold, and Annie's group, and turned into a Titan herself. Back into a person herself, which says a lot of things. It raises a lot of questions. As you know, one of them being, could the person that she ate turn into a Titan, and is that the reason why she could turn back into a human? Or can any Titan eat any human and eventually turn back into a human? It's obviously it's gonna be answered at some point. As good as they did in telling Ymir's story, telling a lot of back history, giving us bits and pieces here and there, I feel like their biggest flaws this season so far was the fact that, first of all, like I said before, I was pretty upset that it's 12 episodes, because they have to not only tell a concise story, but it didn't move the plot overall a lot. Like, and when I mean the plot, I mean like, what's the end game here? What's the overall story? Like, what is Attack on Titan like all about? Because that's the thing that The Walking Dead suffers the most. The Walking Dead is about to hit its 8th season, and although it's very highly rated on TV, it's still one of the most watched TV shows currently out right now. People are dropping off and not getting as many millions of viewers anymore, and one of the reasons why I feel is because we don't see an end game here. We don't see what's the point of all this. To me, Attack on Titan is similar, although from what I'm told is from what I understand, the creator is gonna finish the manga at the 100th volume, which that can also change depending on, if the studio is gonna pressure him to make more, or he's gonna bullshit us like Naruto and make side stories. Like, we don't know these things, but we're assumed to believe that yes, he's gonna finish at the 100th volume. Now, the next thing that I don't necessarily like about it is the fact that at the end of the first season and in the beginning of the second season, they show that the revelation. They reveal there are Titans in the wall, and they grab one of the religious leaders and tell them to explain it to him, because he seems to know. By his reaction, it seems like he knows what the fuck is going on. So they have like a couple episodes explaining that they spend a couple of episodes grabbing this guy and trying to get the information out of him, and by the end of it, he said that he can't really explain because of some bullshit political reason, but he told us of somebody who can, and blah blah blah, and that's how we led to the point of Ymir and the backstory of how Titans come to be. But that still didn't answer the question, why are there Titans on the wall? There's a theory, and there is something that Hanji presumes, which is the Titans are in the wall because Annie, one of the first villains of the show, can harden her skin, as well as how the armor Titan works. He's pretty hard, he hardens himself into like this like thick man, this thick Titan man, right? So she thinks that the wall is actually made out of that material, so the Titans must be inside of there, and they must have created the walls. They must have created those. They must have helped create those walls. But if they don't see sunlight, they don't move, because a lot of Titans, like the majority of the mindless Titans, are that they sleep at night, and if they see any sunlight, they start moving, which is why they made them cover it up and so on and so forth. Why am I pretty disappointed? I want to watch more. I want to see more. I want to understand more, and I want to know the truth more. Just like Commander Irwin said, that we're one step closer to the truth. All these character development things in each little piece. Levi coming to the realization that he might have been killing people. Like Eren and Mikasa's realizing that Eren realizing that Mikasa is always going to be there for him, but he has to protect her, also is a very important thing. And Armin being as intelligent as he's always been. These are all great elements, but I don't like the fuckery of I think I'm just disappointed at the behind the scenes shit. I think I'm disappointed at the fact that they announced right afterwards, probably the day after the episode come out, that they're having a season 3, but it won't release until next year. When they previewed that, when they said that Attack on Titan is coming out next year, they show basically how far they're gonna get into that, which is allegedly they would get all the way out and they would see the sea, like the ocean. And again, from my understanding, the manga has not caught, and the manga just passed that point, and the manga still has a couple more volumes out of the way. So he's either gonna have to get cracking to get those fucking those volumes out, which might mean a loss of quality. But are they really, or this is just bullshit? We spent 4 years in between. We got 4 years in between season 1 and season 2, and then all of a sudden season 3 is a year away. Is next year. From what people in the comments, people on Twitter say, well, that's because they spent those 4 years probably making more episodes. No, that's not how that works. They don't make 2 seasons worth of shit in 4 years and then decide that afterwards. Those things, those things are ordered. Like it's like they got a 12 episode order because they want to know if people were still interested. I just don't think that that's what actually happened. What I think actually happened is that they had, in those 4 years, they made an additional 24 episodes, which would be essentially season 2, right? But they didn't spend all 4 years of those making it. I felt like they spent the last 2 years making that. And then the first 2 years, they were just focusing on the manga and all this other stuff. You had so much hype. You had, not only did you have a great beginning, like a great show to start off with. Very quickly, you got the American market because you got the Toonami. You got Toonami to show your show. It's English dub and it was put on Netflix. You got the Western market and you got us fucking hooked. Everybody loved it. So obviously we wanted more, but you waited too long. And I mean the studio. The studio waited too long because they wanted to make more money off of it. If you don't think they wanted to make money off of it, why did they bullshit us with an OVA series, the Attack on Titan Junior High School? These are what else? And then the 2 compilation films that also did terribly and were pretty fucking terrible movies. That that's all marketing. That's all deciding, well, let's try to maximize as much money as we can, which is not bad because it's a business. But I don't like the idea of fans like us thinking that they're doing it for our sake. They're not. They're doing it for monetary reasons, obviously. And that's cool and all, but I don't like getting fucked around for too long. Yeah, tease me. If this happened 2 years ago, I probably would have been okay with it, but 4 years is a long time. Thankfully, season 3 is next year, so we'll see how that happens. We'll see what actually happens. How far do they actually get? And I'm gonna still watch. So hopefully you guys will still be here. Hopefully I will still be here making videos. That's how I feel about Attack on Titan season 2. If I had to give it any form of a rating, I would give Attack on Titan season 2 3 out of 5 Beast Titans. If you want to watch any more of my anime reviews or think pieces like this, please let me know. Like the video, tell me your opinions, comment or whatever. If I should do more opinion pieces like this, as well as check out my other videos in which I watch an anime or have seen an anime and try to recommend it for people who either have never watched anime or try and get into it, or people like me who've already seen fucking everything and need something new to watch that they probably haven't seen or didn't have the time to catch. And you can catch those things right here. So this is, and I will see you soon.